makers, this is the card I'm making for the Whimsy Stamps Halloweeners design team, and I want to use some things from the new release for August from Whimsy Stamps, and that is the Halloween Night stamp set, and it has a matching die set that goes with it. So I'm going to be using a few images from this and then the Night of Fright for Your Delight sentiment. I'm also going to be using the Bats Galore embossing folder on this. So as you can see, it's going to be a slimline card, and I'm also going to be using the slimline card builder die set. So these come out, and then you can either use the same image or the same window all along, only one window and the rest solid, whatever you decide. You can, choose. So I'm going to be using this as well, and as I've been doing this year, I'm showing you my sketches. So this was a little sketch I did when I got the stamp set. And so it has this darling little bat right here. So I'm going to be putting the bat one way and then the other way on the bottom window. And in the middle window, I'm going to cut out just the little bat here. And it's going to be looking at the sentiment, A Night of Fright for Your Delight. And then I'm going to emboss the die builder frame with the bats and put it on my card front. So it's going to be a really simple card, but I think it'll be fun. I just think these little bats are just absolutely adorable, and so I just wanted to showcase them on this card. So let's go ahead and get making. Piece of watercolor cardstock cut 3.5 by 8.5, and I am going to color it purple with Dusty Concord Distress Spray Stain. I'm going to emboss it, and I need to cut it out with the oval windows. I'm going to do 3 oval windows, and then I'll emboss it so that when I cut the windows out, I don't squish the embossing down. I want the embossing to be prominent. So I'll cut the windows out of it, and then I will emboss it, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to make the bats show up. So as you saw, I colored the background here with Dusty Concord, a little bit of Wilted Violet, and then I went over it with just a touch of the Ominous Twilight Distress Mica Stain. And then I flicked some of the Jack-o'-lantern Distress Mica Stain to give it the orange coppery shimmer. So it does shimmer just a little bit. After that, I cut out the outside frame, and then I used the oval one to cut the ovals. Once it was cut and ready to go, then I went ahead and embossed it through the Bats Galore embossing folder, and now you can see the little bats all through there. And I could leave it like that, but, and this may be going a step too far, and I may regret it. All right, so let's give it a shot. I just embossed a few of the cutouts from the center. So I have the Distress Oxide Black Soot, and I'm just going to go pad to paper and just see if I like those bats kind of standing out. I think I like that. Yeah. Okay, so put those to the side. So all you do is you take the pad, you go directly to the paper, and you just drag it over where the bats are. You will probably get some onto the background, the purple part on the background. And if that's going to bother you, then this is not the technique for you. It doesn't bother me at all. I like the way it looks. I like the way it kind of darkens the whole background if it gets in between the bats a little bit. Kind of distressed. All right, let's see how we do. Looks pretty good. All right. I cut out a piece of Distress Watercolor cardstock and ran it through the outside frame that I cut this with, and then I trimmed it down where all of the little sewing bits are so that it will be smaller than this frame. I don't want any of it showing outside. I only want it to show through the windows. So I've sprayed some water on it, and now I'm going to spray a little Distress Spray Stain in Carved Pumpkin. Okay. And a little bit of Distress Mica Stain in the Jack-O-Lantern. I'm trying to keep it light. Then I'm going to add some more water. Because I want it light. And I'm going to let it run. So I'm going to do this. Dry it. All right, here it is. It's very Halloween colors. I put it on a black card base, and I just have everything kind of sitting the way it is. I need to stamp the A Night of Fright for Your Delight in the center one here, and then I'll pretty much be done. I don't know if I'm going to do a little bit of the moon, you know, in each one either. That might be a good thing to do, is a little bit of the moon. So let me decide on that. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment, and then I'll figure the other out. Well, here's the finished product, and I think it did exactly what I wanted it to do. And that is to showcase and highlight those darling little bats from the Halloween Night Stamp and Die set. Love that it has a die set with it. Makes it so simple to just stamp, color, and cut those out. I did add a moon in the top and bottom openings, and that is the stamp and the die are also in the Halloween Night set. I used half of a sentiment. This originally said hugs and kisses and Halloween wishes, and I just wanted it to say Halloween wishes, so I cut off the top, kind of cut it in half, and I saved the top half because I can put them together on another project, and still they're usable. but I matted that in a little bit of orange and then a little bit of black underneath that, just so it would kind of stand out. And I think that it really grounds the card. The card was really needing something. I kept looking at it thinking, what does it need? And so I just felt like it needed a little bit of something else to stand out right there. So with the addition of the moon and the Halloween wishes, I think that that just finished the card off the way that I wanted. I do like the shimmer that I sprayed on with the Iron Gate mica stain. We've got, and I know it's probably difficult to see all of the shimmer on this card. There's a slight bit of purple shimmer from the Ominous Twilight. Then I've got the Jack-o'-lantern that I flicked on there that really has a lot of shine. And then there's the slightest bit of shimmer back here in the orange as well. I just kind of went a little crazy with the mica stains and the distress stains, but I love that. And then I love that the bats from the Bats Galore embossing folder are a flat matte bat. They aren't shiny, and that's because I used a distress oxide pad direct to paper and went right over it. And it also pulled down some of the shine when it got in between some of the bats, but that's okay. I really like the distressed feel of the whole thing. So there is a very simple Halloween card using Halloween Nights stamps and die set. And I hope that you enjoyed following along with me today. If you have any questions, please contact me in the comments below. If you have a question that requires a little bit more detail, please contact me through my blog at playswellwithpaper.blogspot.com. I'll be glad to be in contact with you and answer any questions to the best of my ability. Any of the things that I used to make this card today are linked in the comments, and the link to my blog is also in the comments if you would like to go there. Maybe see some close-ups of this card as well. And with that, I just want to wish you a very creative day.